Welcome back, and this is the Nafisa Dango Show this wonderful Wednesday afternoon. We're enticing you into different spaces this afternoon. It's so exciting because we started off with relationships and how to obviously make them better. And then we went into beauty, looking at ourselves from the inside and from the out. And it's such an amazing journey that we're going through this afternoon. But I want to tell you about my next guest coming up. And this is what we were talking about, looking at beauty. We first spoke about beauty from the outside, where we can use home remedies to entice us into a way of looking better and, of course, feeling better. But then I want to discuss my next guest this afternoon, and she's a phenomenal woman, because she's going to teach us how to, of course, make ourselves feel better from the inside. Sister Naailah Noorbhai is a second-year chiropractic student at UJ, and she's done the Afia Healing course in 2018 and qualified this year in April after doing 120 hours of practice. She's interested in natural healing and the way the mind and the body works. Nailah's goal is to help as much people as she can, physically, mentally, and spiritually. And I think that's phenomenal. Chiropractic and Afia Healing are very closely linked, and she hopes to incorporate the two and treat people in the best possible way. And of course, changing their spaces as far as their health is concerned for a better one. Let's welcome her today to our show. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I think we seem to be having a bit of a technical glitch there, but it's so important to be able to understand what Afia Healing is. And this is what Sister Naailah Noorbhai is going to entice us into the space this afternoon. Also, of course, going the more natural way of looking at our health and changing our health for the better, as opposed to having to take the chemical way. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sister Naailah. It's so nice for you to join us this afternoon. Welcome to the Nafisa Dango Show, where we, of course, enticing people into different spaces this afternoon. And we've been having loads of fun, and we're hoping that you're going to entice us also into a better space as far as our health goes. But talk to us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I'm currently studying chiropractic in my second year. In the year 2018 is when I got introduced to Afia Healing. And so I did the 2-day course, and then I did my hours, 120 hours of practice, and then I became qualified this year in April. And so with the whole coronavirus and everything, I think it came in handy a lot. So yeah, and my interest, yes.
I think it came at the right time for you, because I think people were enticed into a space where they were reflecting on themselves and asking themselves from a health point of view, from a mind point of view, from every perspective, a spiritual point of view, how can they change their lives for the better? And this is what Afia Healing does.
Yes, and so my interest is basically everything to do with natural healing and how the body works. And so my goal is to help people physically, mentally, and spiritually. So also with chiropractic and Afia Healing, they're very closely linked to one another. And so I plan to use both of them to treat people in the best possible way.
Mm-hmm. Well, what inspired you into getting into the space? I mean, and explain to our viewers what Afia Healing is, because I think a lot of them don't actually understand the concept of Afia Healing and what it does for one, what the benefits are.
So what inspired me actually is my mother did the course in the year 2016. And so she would treat me like with exam stress. And an interesting thing also is I burnt my finger on the stove. And so what she did was she did a treatment for me, and she cupped her hand around my finger. And so she sent energy through, and usually it would like blister, or it would like pain a lot. And
Yes.
so she cupped her hands over my finger for about 10 minutes. And then she released it, and I could not believe it, but the pain was not there. There was no blistering, nothing. So I said, you know what, let me look into this, because I'm very interested now. I need to see, how did this happen? And so I
think that would capture
more
one's attention in many directions. And I mean, obviously, when you burn, it's not going to go away instantly. It's something that's stuck with you. So I think that enticed you into a better space where you realize that this is something truly beneficial for people.
Yes, so then I started researching more about it, and then I went for the course in 2018. So basically, Afia Healing is just an Arabic term for holistic well-being. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a natural healing modality to basically facilitate the process of healing. And a lot of people ask the question: is it an Islamic uh, technique?
Mm-hmm.
It's actually not Islamic. It's a combination of therapies put together to heal a person holistically. So it just has
Right.
the Arabic name, the Arabic term, but it's anyone can do it. Anyone can use it.
Right.
Um, so it's to do with body mind awareness, the breath, and most importantly, energy. You know, our bodies are made up of energy, so everything is controlled by energy. And if a person injures themselves physically or they have emotional problems, then it causes this imbalance of the energy. And so what Afia Healing does is it restores that energy to bring it back into balance.
Mm-hmm. So basically, it aligns your energy. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Now that's very interesting. So, what are the benefits of Afia Healing? Because a lot of the time, I think people don't understand the concept of it and what sort of benefits it has for them as such.
Okay, so the number one benefit is that it accelerates the self-healing process. Um, and the other benefits would be it releases stress and tension, better sleep, it reduces blood pressure, also strengthens the immune system, um, relieves you from pain, spiritual growth, and emotional release. It also increases your vitality and vibrational frequency.
Mm. Yeah. So basically, is it like a type of an energy healing?
Yes, it's all to do with energy and the mind and breathing.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. Because a lot of the times, I think when people, the reason I'm asking that because there are products that are out there that are called Afia products. I think people mix up the healing with the
Oh,
actual
yes.
product itself. Yes.
No, it's
So talk.
very, very different. The product is a whole separate thing on its own. Um, yeah, what we do is more to do with energy, natural healing. Yeah.
Right. So you're looking at it from the holistic point of view, where you use this type of energy to align a person's well-being from a holistic level. That's how we're looking at it.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so talk us through how many sessions do you need and how effective are the outcomes of Afia Healing? A lot of the times, people will say, but why do I need to go for that when I can do something else?
So, the amount of sessions that a person does actually depends on the person. So everyone heals in their own time. And
Mm-hmm.
also it depends on the condition. So how severe is it?
Mm-hmm.
But on average, 3 sessions should be enough. Um, a lot of people do say they'd rather go to a doctor or they'll rather take tablets and whatever. But with that, you can get side effects. With this, there's no side effects. It's literally, everything is natural. And so I think the first thing I would do is Afia Healing. And if that fails, then I'll go into something else that will work. But
Mm-hmm. Will
the
will
thing
this
is,
will
90,
this type of thing help? Sorry, I know I've interrupted there, but will
yeah.
this type of thing help? Because these are questions coming in. Will this type of thing help with people that have serious diseases, for example, like cancers and those types of diseases? Does Afia Healing help with those kinds of patients?
Okay, so this is very interesting actually because 90% of our problems are caused from emotional damage. And so
Right.
with cancer, if you look deeper into it, there's books about it and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
cancer is closely related to anger. And so
Right.
I actually spoke to one of the ladies that's doing Afia Healing, and she had cancer. And so
Mm-hmm.
when she started doing Afia Healing and everything, and she figured that we told her it was from anger, and so she figured that everything had to do with her anger and everything, and she got to deal with her emotions through her anger, and through that, that's how she healed and got cured from her cancer.
Wow, that is phenomenal, because a
And
lot of the times people think that, chemotherapy and all these other things are the options. But, this is so beneficial to people that are in those types of spaces. And as you were saying, a lot of serious ailments actually stem from emotion. So what sort of
yes.
advice would you give us as far as that is concerned? Because, I mean, as human beings, there's many emotions that we, of course, go through during the period of the day. Sometimes you're really happy, other times you're feeling down and out. How do those emotions really affect us?
Okay, so our mind is constantly working, and the human body generally does think negatively. So we need to train our mind to always think in the positive. So the
Mm-hmm.
one thing I would say that's very important is grounding or earthing. I don't know if you know what that is. Like when you step on grass or sand,
Yes.
basically
Walk
releasing
barefoot,
all.
literally.
Yeah, so you're releasing your toxins and also you're gaining the energy from the ground. And so it
Right.
releases like any inflammation, pain. You'll also notice if you go outside and just look at nature, it somehow
Mm.
improves your mood. And
Right.
another thing that's important is breathing techniques. So a lot of people don't know the correct way of breathing. You have to do deep breathing. So we
Mm-hmm.
say to our clients to take in a deep breath on the count of five, and then they must hold for a count of five, and then breathe out on the count of five as well. So you do that 3 times, and then after that, you'll immediately feel calm. And so if you do this continuously throughout the day, say 5 times a day,
Mm-hmm.
you'll notice your stress levels will be it's kind of like you're releasing your stress throughout
Yeah,
the entire day.
I think you kind of
You,
read my mind there, because that was going to be
yeah.
my next question. Will this help with people? And especially now during this COVID-19 period that we've just, trying to overcome, put it that way. A lot of people are in that space where they're suffering with mental wellness, emotional wellness. And then you find that anxiety is actually, starting to take over. And then you find that these people are so out of breath, they can literally not breathe correctly. So I think this breathing, concept will work a lot for people in that particular space at this moment in time.
Yes, it will help a lot. And also another thing is affirmations. So,
Right.
that thing of what you tell yourself becomes reality.
Mm-hmm.
So, like when people are dealing with stress, then you'll tell them to say to themselves, I am calm. So they'll close their eyes, they'll do their breathing, and they'll repeat constantly to themselves, I'm calm, I am calm. So whatever you say to yourself, you'll immediately feel it.
Mm.
So if we tell them after the session, do this for 2 weeks. Say it, look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, "I'm calm." Do it for 2 weeks, and then they'll notice within those two
Mm.
weeks they change completely. Their stress levels have lessened.
How would
Yes.
you advise people with, where you were talking about aligning, of course, and balancing the person's body out? A lot of people suffer from imbalance in the body when it comes to, say, vertigo. Um, and you find that they, seem to be falling over themselves a lot of the times, where the entire room is literally spinning and they start losing their balance. What causes that, and what sort of advice would you give them?
Okay, so here again, I think it's breathing also.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have to just tell the person to sit down, to breathe, and visualization also comes in handy here. So if you know, visualize yourself being strong, being calm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so it's like takes away that dizziness. It calms you, it anchors you. So when we're
Right.
doing with the emotional side, there's two ways you can treat an emotional problem. The one is where you tapping. Uh,
Right.
it's where you tap 15 points on the body, and so these are the meridian points. So it's the energy channels in the body. So you'll do tapping if it's not so severe, but if it is severe, you'll do something called anchoring. So this is where you
Right.
tell the person to think about a safe place, and so
Mm-hmm.
they'll think about a place that makes them feel safe, and automatically they'll feel calm, they'll feel grounded, and through this is how you can release the person's emotion.
Right. So a lot of people right now are going through serious emotions up and down from the types of spaces they're in. I mean, because there's a lot of people at this point in time that have, of course, lost their jobs, gotten retrenched in a worse possible space than that they never thought they would be in. What advice would you give them to be able to keep themselves from an emotional point of view and a spiritual point of view a little bit more balanced so that they can overcome these challenges with a better focused mind?
So I think to do the grounding thing every day is important. Like say 15 minutes every
Mm-hmm.
day to go outside and to just go in the garden and walk around barefoot for 15 minutes. And
Mm-hmm.
then the other thing is, to just sit down, um, do your affirmations, tell yourself, okay, um, it depends on the problem. So for example, if the person is um, upset about something, so then you'll
Mm-hmm.
say, I am happy, or um, I am willing to change, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just like brings yourself into that positive mindset. So if you change what you're thinking, you'll end up responding to the world differently.
That is so
You
true. When
you'll
I
adapt
so
better to your
Yeah,
surroundings.
I so agree with you there. Would that help people that are suffering with negative emotions all the time? Because you find some people they find themselves in that particular space, but they don't know how to actually get out of it.
Yeah, so I think it's all to do with training your mind to
Mm.
you have to train it from being negative to becoming positive. So um I think with me also, when it was lockdown, what
Hmm.
I did was I every morning when I would wake up, I do my breathing first. After the
Right.
breathing, I would close my eyes and imagine like a white light. So this white light
Yes.
is like the energy, the healing. So it starts at my head and then goes down, travels throughout my entire body. So from my head down my spine, through my arms, through my legs. And as it's traveling through my body, I imagine it releasing all negativity and all tension. Um, and then through that, I think about my safe place. So like my safe place would be like a waterfall, or like thinking about flowers, or
I think that's
nature and
such a
stuff like that.
phenomenal way of doing it. Can we repeat that? I want our viewers to try this out today. For all of you out
Okay.
there that are actually suffering from these imbalances, finding yourself in a negative space and you feel that you really need to find yourself in a better zone. Let's repeat this, Naila. Let's talk this through to our viewers so that they can try this out post, of course, the show, or even now while we're on air. Let's try this exercise out. Go for it.
Okay. Okay, you can try it too. I'll just talk you
I'm
through
sitting here waiting very anxiously.
it.
All right,
Okay.
let's try this
Okay,
out.
so everyone can close their eyes. Okay, now think about a safe place. Anywhere that makes you feel calm, that makes you feel happy. Okay, now I need you to visualize yourself and imagine a white light above your head. Okay, this white light is going to give you energy and release all negativity that's in your body. So it travels from your head. I need you to imagine it traveling from your head down to your spine, down your arms to your fingers, and then down your legs to your feet and to your toes. Okay, and as it travels through your body, you begin to feel calm, you begin to feel at peace, you feel happy, you feel safe. Okay, now this white light, this time it enters into your heart. Okay, imagine your heart getting bigger and bigger. It looks healthy, it looks pure. Okay, now I need you to repeat this phrase after me, but in your head. Okay, we're going to say 3 times together. I release all unnecessary stress from my body now. Okay, again, I release all unnecessary stress from my body now. I release all unnecessary stress from my body now. Okay, now repeat this in your head continuously. And as you say each word, you actually imagine releasing anything that does not belong in your body. You begin to feel lighter, calmer, safer, and happier.
Wow, that was phenomenal. I can I
How do you
can
feel?
actually I feel such a difference in my body. That was absolutely amazing. I mean, it just didn't even take that long. But the type of
Yeah.
space that I was in prior to doing this particular exercise has made such a difference, and I hope it's helped our listeners and our viewers out there to find that better space. Because trust me, it really works. I've just tried it out now, and I think it stuck with me. I think you have given me, should we say, a really valuable gift that's going to stay with me for a very long time, because it's taught me to actually take myself and put myself in a better space. And although I was calm, but I'm much calmer now than I was
Yes.
earlier. And I'm
So
sure
now
you can hear it. You can hear it in my
I
voice.
can hear it. No, and I actually did this before I came on for this interview, and it really calmed me. So,
So
um,
there we go. I think there's always alternative ways of getting ourselves into better spaces, and this is what you've taught us this afternoon about Afia Healing. And I think it's an amazing concept because it takes you literally from an energy level into a different space. And a different mindset as well. So I want to thank you so much for joining us. But what sort of message would you like to leave our viewers and listeners with this afternoon?
um, so I just want to say that what you think becomes, your reality. So I think train your mind, do certain techniques, and do it like constantly, say for about 2 weeks, and that way you can change your thinking. So that's what
Mhm.
I did. I started doing this visualization technique. I started doing my breathing. And within like 2 weeks, my entire, you know, behavior and everything changed. The way I treat people, also, the way I speak to people, um,
Mhm.
how I feel internally. And so
Mm.
I'm able to deal with stress better. I'm able to deal with, when things happen in life, you just tell yourself, okay, take 3 deep breaths in. You
Mhm.
give yourself a positive thought. And so, yeah, that's my message, to just think positively always, to do your breathing, do your grounding, become aware of yourself and what you're thinking. I think that's what Afia
Absolutely.
Healing teaches you, to become self-aware.
That is so true. And you have to be aware of the place you're in at the present moment in time, because that's what affects you right now. It's not about thinking about the future or thinking about the past. It's about thinking about the present and where you are.
Yes. That's
Thank you
very
so
important.
much. You were
Mhm.
absolutely phenomenal. You've changed my mindset definitely. I'm in a happier space than I was earlier. And I'm sure you can hear that.
I'm glad.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And you've definitely shed some light on a matter that I think is really phenomenally beneficial to people out there. So they should actually look at this in order to, of course, get themselves in a better space, especially post COVID now with all the things that they've been through. And
Yeah.
I want to wish you nothing but the best for the future. And you will, of course, hear from us at some point in time because this was definitely a very beneficial segment for myself and our listeners. So thank you so much for joining me on the
It's my
Nafisa Dango
pleasure.
Show. We wish you nothing
Thank
but the
you.
best. And
You
take
too.
care of yourself. And we'll chat to you soon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.
Wow, what a phenomenal lady, Naailah Noorbhai. She definitely moved my space, and I'm hoping that she did that for you, for yourself as well. Definitely a very enticing segment, learning about Afia Healing and what it can do for your energy levels and the way you perceive things. But stay with us. We're going to be back after the break with something really interesting.